That's the right thing for the wealthiest nation in the world to do. And today, I'm announcing over $1 billion in new humanitarian support for Africans displaced from homes by historic droughts.
Those who are here committing crimes, robberies, shooting at police officers, raping innocent people, have been a harm to our country. I want to sit down and hear the plan on how we're going to address them. Those are the people I am talking about, and I would love to sit down with the board of Czar and hear his thoughts on how we're going to address those who are harming our citizens.
You're open to that.
What's going on, everybody? Today, we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to look at Joe Biden sending our money to Africa, Eric Adams saying he wants to sit with the border czar, and it seems like he agrees with Republicans on illegal immigration. Then also, I want to see this CNN article that says that Kash Patel was hacked by Iran and they stole some things from his cell phone. Interesting how when the media wants to start war with Russia, everything gets blamed on Russia. And now that they want to start a war with Iran, all of a sudden things happening to Trump and Kash Patel are because of Iran. We're going to look at those stories as well as a few other ones that I haven't mentioned here. So sorry about that. Dream Rare Podcast starts now. And yeah, we'll get right into it.
It's the Dream Rare Podcast. Welcome to the show. The way to get the news at the desk or on the road. Let's go. God is great and success in our control. The world is crazy, but we get better from obstacles. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys for being here. Before I start my show, I just want to say a few things real quick. I've been pretty under the weather for a few weeks. So yesterday or 2 days ago, live stream was a little rough for me. And I'm going to try to get through this one, but I wanted to say I took the last one down because I actually made an error and I just figured it would be better to take it down. So I was talking about how Haaretz, which is Israel's oldest newspaper, reported on the Hannibal Directive, which means that Israel's willing to basically, stop the hostages at all costs per se. And I stupidly, I thought and I assumed that the Hannibal Directive or Initiative was named after Hannibal from the story of the cannibal. But, a lot of people in the comments said, well, also Hannibal was a leader in the past as well. I did my research and I found out that neither of them is why Israel said they called it the Hannibal Directive or Initiative. They said it was computer generated. So I just assumed, I don't know why I assumed that that's what it was from. I was wrong. I think a lot of people in the comments were assuming as well. Not a really big deal, and I don't think it's a massive error or anything. I just figured the combination of that, and since I was under the weather, I was like, I'll just scrap the whole podcast. And I also talked about in that one, Dinesh D'Souza retracted his 2,000 mules to some extent because the video footage was wrong, and it didn't correlate how he said, and he admitted that he misled people by mistake because he was fed wrong footage that didn't correlate to what he thought it was. And we talked about a few other things there. So if you missed that episode, it is what it is. I think it's still on Rumble. I ended up taking it down from Facebook and YouTube for that reason. I just got that wrong. And I'm going to get into the first story here, and hopefully I could get through this live stream. And if not, then I'm just going to take a break until I feel a lot better because it's been a rough couple of weeks. I got that futuristic COVID or something. But anyway, let's look at the first story, and then I'll read some comments possibly at the end. CNN is saying that Kash Patel is Trump's pick to lead the FBI, has been targeted with an Iranian hack, sources say. Of course, CNN has that story. And Kash Patel is going to take over the FBI. And they said that some of his communications have been compromised. I don't have to tell people this because I think my audience is pretty smart, but when Trump was about to be president, everything was Russia, Russia collusion, Russian supporters. Bernie Sanders are Russians. Trump supporters are Russians. Trump's working with Russia. Everything's Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia did this. Russia did that. Russia hacked our election. And then once the war gets started with Russia, they don't need to create this narrative against Russia as much anymore because it's already been fulfilled. And then now it's like, Iran's trying to assassinate Trump. Iran is doing this. Iran hacked the FBI director. When I posted this on Facebook and even on Twitter, I was reading the comments. It seemed like most American citizens believed that it was actually the intelligence community doing that and not Iran. I'm not saying that's what happened. I have no idea, but most people do not trust what CNN and the intelligence community say, especially when you have this guy who is perceived as a rebel rouser and he's going to go in and stop the deep state at the FBI. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but people are perceiving it that way. And it's possible that he is a real change. Then all of a sudden, a foreign country that they want to start a war with hacks his phone. Is that them trying to get information on him? Is that them scaring him? Is that them basically like being like, look, he's too sloppy, he can't even keep his own communications, maybe he shouldn't? I'm not sure exactly the play, but I do want to play this video, which is pretty famous now, from former CIA director Mike Pompeo, who was the Secretary of State under Trump as well, where he admitted that when he went to college, they told him not to lie and not to do all these things. But then he said when he became a CIA director, all of those rules went out the window. So it's an interesting clip of why people don't trust our intelligence communities.
When I was a cadet, what's the cadet motto at West Point? You will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. I was the CIA director. We lied, we cheated, we stole. It was like we had entire training courses. It reminds you of the glory of the American experiment.
So he said as a West Point cadet that they told him not to lie, not to cheat, not to steal. But when he worked at the CIA, he's like, we did all of those things. I understand that every intelligence community in every country has to play deception games in order to fight with each other. So I'm a pro-America person. I love this country. I don't think it's exclusive to just the CIA or anything, but it's hard to believe intelligence communities when their former directors are out there being like, we lie, we cheat, we steal. So it's like, should we believe you? Oh, you have to believe us or else you're anti-American. It's like, well, Kash Patel, he seems like somebody that they would not necessarily want there. And now he's being hacked by Iran. Now everything is being done by Iran. What's the solution? Should we go fight the war that the country that, has wanted to fight Iran for 20 years wants to fight? I don't really buy it. I don't think most people do. And we'll see what happens. But I want to talk about this concept real quick before I play some of the other clips I had in my intro. Pete Hegseth is basically being stonewalled to some extent. We'll see if he gets through. He's supposed to take over as a high-level position for Trump. And even Lindsey Graham is coming out against him, saying like, "Ooh, he's got some things. I don't know about this." I don't have the exact quote, but Lindsey Graham is not really on Pete's side. And a lot of people don't really know how to perceive this, because I think a lot of people on social media, they'll see some clips of Pete and realize that Pete is very status quo on some topics. We'll say he was an Iraq war guy. He was part of the neocon establishment or the Zionist establishment, whatever you want to call it. He was like a big player in that for decades. And you hear some clips of him and it's like, he doesn't seem that different from Lindsey Graham, although, people watch Fox News and he's like so great or whatever. So they like him. I believe this. And I think when I say this, some people understand and some people don't, but they want somebody that's 100% controllable. You might look at somebody and say, I think they're 80% sold out and 70% sold out or 90% sold out. And I'm not saying you have to like or trust these people. I don't really care what you do, but you have to understand there's games on games on games. Like Kash Patel, for example, he might play some games with the establishment, but then in other ways, he's not. He's going to be a real change. They don't want a 50%. They don't want a 20% or a 10% or a 90%. They want an 100%. I don't know Pete Hegseth. I only know what I've seen and what I've researched. So something tells me that he does play ball with the establishment a lot. But I also do believe he doesn't play ball with the establishment enough. So even if he's like 90% on their side, they can get somebody that's 100%. And they do these things, in my opinion, this is just my guess, in order to push you further on their side, where it's like, do you want to get the nomination? You do this. Do you want to be with us? You do this. And if not, all of a sudden bad things start happening to you and you might not get confirmed. So I think there's multiple games being played on all levels. Like they use certain things as blackmail. Like everybody knows about the Epstein type blackmail, of course, but I think there's a more subtle version of blackmail that they do where it's like, if you're not completely in a corner, they basically just try to push you in the corner as far as possible and make it almost impossible for you to get out. So I think there's these concepts that some people don't really consider because, for example, someone like Tucker Carlson. I like Tucker, but, he's Tucker. You either like him or you don't. You trust him or you don't. Some people, they really don't like Tucker and they think he's establishment. And because his parents, he worked in the government, etc. He worked at media companies. They don't trust Tucker Carlson. Understandable. I'm not here to tell you to trust everything that Tucker Carlson does, but here's what I want to explain to people. When I say, James Lindsay and Seth Dillon and Konstantin Kizin, these are the perpetuators of the woke right hoax. I'll talk about that later. They're trying to psyop Republicans into thinking like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson are woke because Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson are talking about things they don't want them to talk about. We'll talk about it later. People can't wrestle with these concepts where it's like, is Tucker 100% the greatest person ever? I'm not saying that. He's worked in, high-level media positions. I'm not asking you to trust him. I don't care what you do. That's for you to do. But it seems like people that don't trust Tucker Carlson, they think that he's just 100% in on it, and nobody, like, it doesn't matter because he's just a sellout and everything he does is fake. I don't believe that that's true. Like, I believe that James Lindsay and Seth Dillon of Babylon Bee and Konstantin Kizin, they don't like Tucker Carlson because he had a guest on his podcast who questioned World War II, and that goes against the anti-Semitism hate speech laws. So they're smearing Tucker Carlson without having to debate him because they don't like that Tucker's platforming people they don't want to platform. Like, people can't wrestle with this concept where I'm not asking you to 100% trust somebody if you don't want to, but it's like, well, Anomaly, you don't understand. Pete Hegseth is a sellout. Maybe he's not enough of a sellout, though. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he plays ball on 8 out of 10 topics, but they want him to play ball on 10 out of 10 topics. Same with Trump. Trump plays ball on a lot of topics, but sometimes for some people, he doesn't play ball enough. So this is the concept that I see with Kash Patel, Pete Hegseth, Matt Gaetz, for example. It's not that they're totally to be trusted on anything they do, because I'm not asking people to do that. But I think everybody's all or nothing nowadays. He's either all good or all bad, all this or all that. There's a difference between trusting somebody and liking a politician, but understanding why other people don't want them to get there. Like, you think Pete Hegseth is bad? Wait till you see his replacement. Whoever they replace Pete Hegseth with is going to be even worse. Matt Gaetz, he has his flaws. He would have been a great attorney general. Pam Bondi is worse. People don't understand why, but these are the games that they play. So I'm going to move on to the next topic, but I think in order to understand how I operate, especially on social media and in general, this is how I think, and I do believe it to be true, else I wouldn't be saying it. I think people need to separate the concept of you have to 100% trust somebody in the media or a politician, but at the same time, if you don't trust them or you don't like a few things they did, that you just throw the baby out with the bathwater, and it's like, oh, do you think Tucker Carlson's real? You don't get it, Anomaly. No, you don't get it. What I'm saying is that they don't like Tucker Carlson because he had a podcast host on who questioned World War II. Certain people in the U.S. government don't like Tucker Carlson because he's in Russia interviewing Russians and he's messing up their agenda. Can you separate that from all the other things that you don't like about Tucker Carlson and understand to some extent he is a threat? He is using his power and leverage to do things that other people aren't doing? Because that's what's going on. So I think that with Kash Patel and Pete Hegseth, they're being essentially pushed, because this is how the government works. Oh, you think you could take my job, Kash Patel? Oh, you think you could take my job, Pete Hegseth? Oh yeah, you did the Fox News host. You worked with John McCain or whoever. Cool. Or whoever he worked with. You could look it up. He was a big Iraq war guy. He's like, I've changed a little bit. And they're like, oh, you have? You've changed a little bit? Well, I don't think we want somebody who changed a little bit. We don't want somebody who has new ideas. And once again, not saying to fully trust them, but anybody that Lindsey Graham or these type of people don't want, there's usually a reason. They're not 100% controllable. That's what I believe is going on. Separate that from the idea of having to fully trust or believe everything they've done. It's not hypocrisy when you point that stuff out. It's the nuance of American politics. It's how it works. On that note, I do want to say this before I play the clip. Trump said that he was the one who got rid of the DEA guy that everybody didn't like. He was arresting pastors. He was talking trash about Trump supporters. Take this for what you will. Trump is the most reachable president in modern history. If Mitt Romney picks somebody, he doesn't care what you think. Who cares what you think? If Kamala Harris picks someone, you think she cares what you think? Really? Barely. Trump, he's not perfect. He's not going to be on your side all the time, but he's the most reachable president we've ever had. So take advantage of that, not with anger, not with hate, not with bad vibes, with the truth, with real journalism, with real opposition, but with a good attitude, because you can get some wins with Donald Trump. I've never seen a president who's like, oh, wait, he does that? No, get rid of him. He didn't have to get rid of the DA guy. People would have forgot about it in 2 weeks, but Trump is the most reachable president of all time. Not perfect, but he's reachable. I like that about Trump. That's why I voted for him, among other reasons. And it's nice to see some transparency and reachability in politics. Here's Joe Biden for some reason giving our money to Africa. I'm not 100% sure why. He'll explain it here. Joe, why are you giving $1 billion to Africa? Let us know.
You know, that's the right thing for the wealthiest nation in the world to do. And today, I'm announcing over $1 billion in new humanitarian support for Africans displaced from homes by historic droughts and food insecurity.
Okay, so they're having issues over there, and he's giving them. Wait, I want to see it again. Sorry, I need to make sure it's the right amount. Is it $1 billion?
You know, that's the right thing for the wealthiest nation in the world to do. And today, I'm announcing over $1 billion in new humanitarian support.
All right, yeah. I want to make sure I got the number right. $1 billion. It's nice to help people. It's nice to be charitable, but this is the problem with America. And I don't want to rant about this too long because I could probably make this last an hour. It's comes from the soul. Our cities kind of suck now. Our airports absolutely suck. You know, like clean up your own neighborhood and then you help the world. But we give money to Ukraine. We give money to Africa. We give money to Israel. Israel has free healthcare, you know, for all their citizens. We don't, but we'll give money to them. We take out loans. We're in debt, but everyone else can't take out loans to pay themselves. We take out loans. Our taxpayer money goes to them. Listen, God bless Africa, but we've had a lot of storms in Hawaii, or actually that was a fire. We've had a massive storm in North Carolina. And I'm not saying the government can do everything to fix everything. Like they can't, but at the same time, it's just such a slap in the face when our economy sucks. Everybody I'm talking to, no matter how successful or not, everybody feels the constriction of this economy. Everybody feels the rat race. Like I've talked to multiple friends that I have in multiple different industries, some doing well, some doing okay, some doing great. Everybody feels it. There's this weird energy in the country. I think it's after COVID, we're dealing with the consequences of it. The economy sucks. Everybody's got like 50 tabs open in their head. They're trying to do all this stuff to stay afloat and to make money and everything. And it's like something feels a little bit off in this country. There's a lot of reasons for it, but I would say economics is really one of them. When the economy's great, everybody's making more money, everybody's spending more money. When the economy's bad, nobody has excess money. Everybody just feels like they're in a rush to go get more in order to stay afloat, and then your life becomes shittier. So it's like, you know, God bless Africa. I know we have a lot of excess in this country, but let's clean up the homelessness first. Let's clean up the cities first. Let's make this country awesome again, and then we could go help everybody else. Until then, it just feels like a slap in the face. But Africa, in my opinion, is the least of my concerns because we give way more money to Ukraine and Israel than we even do Africa. Speaking of our cities being shitty, I want to talk about this story real quick because it became a big story today. Some sort of CEO or big wig at one of the major healthcare companies got shot and killed in broad daylight in New York City. I think his name was Brian Johnson. You have to look it up, but that's just what I recall without having it here in front of me. Look up his name to make sure I didn't make a mistake. Actually, I'm going to do it now because I kind of have like OCD a little bit and I don't want to make an error. Let's see. His name was Brian. It's probably not Brian Johnson. My bad. Is it Brian Thompson? Let's see. Brian Thompson. Okay, there we go. Couldn't make a mistake on this one. Brian Thompson was killed in the street. I was reading some comments, and some people are making up their own theories, which is like he got killed because he's got information on COVID, or he's a real one, and nobody knows that. That's all speculation. That's all guessing. A lot of other people are speculating, which I would say if I was like a detective or a cop where I had to like solve the mystery and I was trying to find a motive, to me, this would probably be the more believable one at first. Of course, unless you look into it, you'll never know, which is like, the health companies make a lot of enemies. There a lot of people are pulling up reports that this health company was denying a lot of people's insurance, like way more than the average. I saw some charts. I don't know how true these were, but these charts that were saying they're more prone to deny coverage to their users than any other healthcare thing. So his wife had said he's got a lot of death threats. People in this country are suffering, and some people seem to hint that that's probably why he got killed. Once again, I have no idea why it was. Anybody could speculate, and obviously it doesn't justify doing that in this country. It's definitely like crazy that happens. One thing I will say, and once again, this is not justifying it because I don't know this guy. He could have been a great guy. He could have nothing to do with it. It could be a completely different motive. But it does seem to strike a chord with people that everybody's like complaining about healthcare, and then some people were even almost like justifying it, being like, well, maybe he had coverage or whatever. It's crazy stuff, but I do want to tell this story real quick. It's just a personal healthcare story. And this is, once again, not justifying it. I don't know this guy. He had a family. He was a human being. God bless him. It's just like, I have to cancel my health insurance because I'm moving, right? I think I have like Blue Anthem or something. It's not this guy. There's a number where it's like, you can't cancel on the website. This is like, just the health insurance industries are so shady. Once again, not justifying, just saying like, everybody hates health insurance for the most part because it's such a seedy, weird industry. So I have to cancel. I go on the website. There's nowhere to cancel. And they say, oh, it's just going to auto renew. Why is their business model allowed to have auto renew with no cancel? It's very odd. So I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I've never renewed for the new year. I don't want to, yet I can't cancel. So they say, call this number, right? Okay. I got to do what I got to do. I call the number and I call and she goes, hi, blah, blah, blah. I'm for part of this. And I say, I'm trying to cancel my health thing because I'm moving states and I don't want to like have more health. And she goes, what health insurance do you have? And I'm like, Blue something or whatever. I named the name of it. And she goes, oh, this is not them. We're not them. So why are you calling us? And I go, your number is on their website. And she goes, is it? And I go, yeah. Like I called the number on the website. So she's acting like I'm a foreigner, like, or an alien. Like why are you calling me? And then anyway, I talked to her for 10 minutes and she's like, oh yeah, I am the right one to call. In order to cancel your subscription, you have to go through a third party and then we'll cancel it for you and we'll get back to you in a month. Why would a health insurance agency have no cancel on the website, have a phone number to a different company that I don't even know who they are? I have to give this company my information. And then they're going to cancel my account for me from a third party. And they play this game for 10 minutes. Like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it was like mind boggling to me how stupid that is. So, I think obviously not justifying anything. This is a personal story that really has little to do with this guy because there's nothing to do with that. But there's so many seedy companies in this world and in this country and so many shady business tactics and so much screwing over of people that it's like, what's going on here? I can't imagine how many enemies health insurance companies are making. It's got to be in like the millions because not just of like people that are crazy, which is not justifying it, but just how much bad business they do and how many people they screw over. My mom probably paid hundreds of thousands of dollars into car insurance her whole life, had one accident, wasn't her fault. And then the car companies are trying to get out of it. It's like you pay $500,000 your whole life into these scams. And then when you need to use it, they don't even want to give it to you. I can't imagine how many enemies these people are made. If I was a detective, I would start with that motive. Once again, I just want to be clear because I would never justify something like that. I'm not doing that. I'm just simply trying to find a motive. And I would guess that's probably a place to start. With that being said, I don't know what to do about it, but my instincts have always told me life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, all these things feel like a scam to me. I get that they serve a purpose, but it's like you pay into them your whole life and then they'll give you like $50,000 when you need it. Oh, I saved so much money. You probably paid $1 million your whole life into a thing that gave you 100,000 when you needed it, maybe, and you had to fight tooth and nail for it. I hate insurance. I hate mandates. I hate credit cards. Personally, instinctually, I hate all those things. They've been normalized in this country. One nation under usury and scams. It's crazy stuff. I just chose today to rant about that because it's a topical topic, but rest in peace to that guy and his family. He's not to blame for everything that goes on in this country. He could have been a great guy and it's a sad day, but I'm just saying, I don't know. That's just where my head went when I read all the comments of people complaining about that stuff. With that being said, we'll move on to the next thing. This is going to play for a while because I don't think it's copyrightable because it's like a government probably clip to some extent. Eric Adams sounds like Donald Trump when he was like, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're raping, they're rapists. And then everyone's like, oh my God, Trump's so racist. And then afterwards, he literally said, not everybody's doing that, but some people are doing that. When you're the president, when you're the mayor, your job is not to sit online like a little hipster and be like, well, I love everybody. That's awesome, bro. Police officer, president, they're dealing with drugs, crime, murder, rapes. Not that everybody's doing it, but some people are doing it. So when Eric Adams or Donald Trump, I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican, when they're saying these things, I know what they're talking about. They're not saying every person of that ethnicity or every illegal immigrant is doing this. That's not true. No one's saying that. But for you to act like it's not happening is also ridiculous. That's why liberals can't run cities because they're like, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, that's why Seattle sucks. That's why Portland now sucks. That's why LA sucks. That's why New York sucks. Even though Eric Adams is trying to do a good job in some ways, it's still falling apart. So it's like people that are offended by stuff can't run cities. Here's Eric Adams. I mean, being pretty blunt. I mean, I don't know if you live in New York, maybe you like him, maybe you don't. He seems pretty straightforward to me here. So let's look.
Those who are here committing crimes, robberies, shooting at police officers, raping innocent people, have been a harm to our country. I want to sit down and hear the plan on how we're going to address them. Those are the people I am talking about, and I would love to sit down with the board of Czar and hear his thoughts on how we're going to address those who are harming our citizens.
You're open to that?
Open to
hearing what their plan is to deport some of these folks, and you think the city, in some circumstances, should cooperate with ICE.
Let me. You know what's interesting? And I was talking to the team the other day. I want you to all go back and Google Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Google what they said about those who commit crimes in our city and what they said in our country. They said those who commit crimes need to get out right away. That was their position. So this is not a new position, because in the state of in the era of cancel culture, no one is afraid to be honest about the truth. Well, cancel me, because I'm going to protect the people of this city. And if you come into this country, in this city, and think you're going to harm innocent New Yorkers and innocent migrants and asylum seekers, this is not the mayor you want to be in the city under.
Eric Adams is like a normal Democrat from like 1999 or 2004. And I'm not, once again, people, I shouldn't have to say this, but I like to be very transparent and clear. People are like, I don't trust him. I'm not asking you to trust him. I'm just saying. He's like a normal Democrat from 2001. And he's trying to explain, this is what everyone used to say. After the election, Trump won all 50 states. And to be fair, not won all 50 states. I'm sorry. He made traction in all 50 states. All 50 states moved conservative to some extent, I believe, in the final data. But in general, Eric Adams has been consistent about this. Me personally, I can't speak for everyone. I'm not a politician. I don't play the games that they play. But we all have. As a citizen, maybe you work at a company, you are in social groups with liberals. We all have a game that we have to play to some extent. How much truth do I tell and how many bridges do I burn? Me personally, I'm not a fake person, so I can't play the games the Democrats are playing. But I'll tell you this, their games are so dumb. Like, you have to be like a total psychopath, an idiot, brainwashed, or a liar to be liked by Democrats. So at a certain point, Eric Adams is standing firm on this topic, and it's like, what else can you really do? Should he change his mind and be like, wait, actually, I'm stupid now, and I'll just lie? Like, it's so hard to lie. And I would say this, don't envy these people, because look at Obama. Like, look at Barack Obama on the campaign trail. He looked terrible. I think lying ages you, and, we all have our days. I have problems too, but it's just like, in general, Obama looked like he aged 100 years. I think it gets to you when you deceive so much. Like, you can't be that deceptive. Like, you can't tell the truth about basic stuff. So I don't know what's going on with Eric Adams, but I like that energy, and hopefully more Democrats act that way, because even if you can't agree with them on every topic, at least you could work together on a few topics to get something done. If people act more like Eric Adams than the rest of the Democrats, who are just so fake and stupid, it's like, at what point does it just make sense to not agree with them on anything? I took my stand in like 2017 or 2016. I was like, you know what? I've come to the conclusion that Trump's not that bad. I get what he's talking about, and Democrats are being crazy. And that was like so controversial then. Fast forward 7 years, everything I said is not even controversial anymore. Everybody pretty much agrees Trump's winning. There's so many people willing to support him. But that was my line in the sand. It's like, I don't know how to fake it. I don't know. Like, how do you do that? Like, oh, I don't get. I'm like, no, I actually get what Trump's saying. Like, you don't get what he's talking about with the border? You think it's racist? Like, how is it racist? Like, you could say it's wrong, or he could have worded it better, but do you not understand what a border is and what actually happens in other countries? So, Eric Adams is taking his stand. He's been doing it for a while on that topic. Good for him. And hopefully more people are brave, because it's just like, it's got to be hard to not understand what he's talking about there. We all understand, and that's why Trump won. With that being said, I want to talk about this last topic real quick because it's like a very interesting civil war within Republican media. And by civil war, I mean like a Twitter online war. I'm not talking about like a literal war. I'm just using it more as a metaphor. But you might not know if you don't pay attention on Twitter or social media, which is a great place to be. I'm not asking you to do it. The more you could tune out of social media, probably the better. But with that being said, within the influencer class and the Republican media class, there has been this, I would call it a psyop and an op, whatever type of op you want to operation, by James Lindsay, who I really didn't know who he was, but I guess he claimed to some sort of like fame a couple years ago. Seth Dillon, who runs the Babylon Bee. Babylon Bee is great. I think he's a good comedian, but he's a very sneaky Decepticon, for lack of a better word. And Konstantin Kizin, who I found out about a few years ago. No disrespect to the guy, but they're all coming together and they're trying to convince you that there's a huge problem in the Republican Party called the woke right. You know, the left is woke, but so is the right. So who do they think is the woke right? Who's the main enemy of these people? You know, Seth Dillon, Konstantin Kizin, James Lindsay. Who are they the most mad at? Who's woke to you guys? It's Tucker Carlson. They don't like Tucker Carlson. Why? I told people before in this podcast, I'll explain it again. Tucker questioned World War II with one of his guests, Daryl Cooper from Martyr Maid, and you can't do that. I could get really deep with you, and I could say every time Konstantin Kizin, Seth Dillon, and James Lindsay get mad at somebody, it's usually when somebody breaks the IHRA anti-Semitism laws that are being passed around the world. It's the reason Candace Owens is banned from Australia. It's the reason David Icke is banned from multiple countries. It's the reason that, you know, it's getting passed into legislation in America. It's a hate speech law that can get you arrested in Germany. Anti-Semitism laws exist all around the world that can get you banned from countries or imprisoned, and Republicans and Democrats are passing them into the legislation. If you ever read the IHRA anti-Semitism laws, I know them almost by heart now because I've done so many reports on it. Anytime someone breaks one of the rules or the laws, those people swarm together like operatives, and then they say, oh, he's woke. Why is Tucker Carlson woke? Because he's challenging the World War II parrot. How is that woke? Because, you know, he just hates America. What are you talking about? But if you read the anti-Semitism laws, you're not supposed to question history of a certain group, or else that's anti-Semitism. So that's what Tucker Carlson did. That's when they all swarmed him. That's why they don't like Candace Owens. They don't like anybody who crosses the threshold and breaks the IHRA anti-Semitism laws. That's just me playing 5D chess. Most people don't even realize that they're doing that. That's a whole other layer to this game that people don't understand. But anyway, James Lindsay did this whole thing where I guess at one point he tricked some sort of liberal academics into publishing a paper that was really just Karl Marx reworded. And he tried to do the same thing, except he did it to some very small time like Republican media. And then he said, oh, look, I proved that the Christian woke right is woke because they published a thing with Karl Marx. But he changed all the wording and he changed all the meaning. It's like if Karl Marx says it's the proletariats versus the bourgeoisie, and then you change it to like it's Christians versus atheists, it makes a whole nother meaning. It would be like replacing Jesus with Satan and being like, look, I got him to publish that. It's like if you change the whole meaning of it and you change entire paragraphs and phrases, you're not proving that the right's woke because they published Karl Marx. You rewrote Karl Marx to make it conservative and then tricked conservatives into publishing it. Like it's not proving that they're woke. He's just a sneaky Decepticon. And this is the thing that annoys me the most about James Lindsay. Listen, he doesn't have to talk to me. He doesn't have to debate me. He doesn't have to do any of these things. But when it comes to like, say, Tucker Carlson, right? Tucker Carlson loves to debate. I've watched Tucker Carlson debate Cenk Uygur. He did amazing. I've watched Tucker Carlson debate people on podcasts. He's a really good communicator. They talk so much shit about Tucker Carlson, right? They have every right to. He's a public figure. They're public figures. No problem. Will they debate Tucker Carlson? Will they sit down with Tucker Carlson and call him woke to his face and tell him why they? No, because they're stupid and they're not popular. Like James Lindsay would look like an idiot next to Tucker Carlson because he is an idiot. I'm another person. He blocked me on Twitter. That's okay. I don't care. I block people sometimes too, but he won't debate me on the topic. He won't debate Candace Owens. He won't debate anybody that he's talking about, but he just keeps writing articles. It's like we live in the world of podcasts, bro. If you got to write a sneaky article and give it to somebody, like talk to somebody, debate somebody at one person, debate one person on that topic. Every topic that I've moved on from, I've debated one person. People are mad at me for blocking them. I've already debated them for 3 hours. Other topics, I've debated it 6 times. I'm not running away from conversation. It's just some things I've already at least done. If they haven't done it once, it's just silly. But they're trying to basically accuse others what they're doing. To me, I don't use the word woke right because I think it's a dumb term. But if I were to say who's the woke right, the woke right would have to be people that are, calling people names. Like if you just call people anti-Semitic and you don't talk about the anti-Semitism speech laws, to me, that's kind of woke. Like if you think that, we deserve the First Amendment, but then you want to quash Palestine protests that are peaceful because, they're Hamas. Now you're framing them in a way in order to call them terrorists in order to shut down their First Amendment in America. That's a little sneaky. That's a little woke. So it's like the people that are calling Tucker Carlson woke are the woke ones. They hate Christians who realize that the First Amendment's more important than anti-Semitism speech laws. They hate conservatives who are America first. And I don't want to talk about this now because I talk about it in so many podcasts, but I have no problem with people who like other countries. I have no problem with people who are a certain ethnicity or religion. Why would I? My issue is when it crosses the threshold of America first. If a speech law for a foreign country matters more than the United States Constitution, you're not America first. You're putting a whole nother ideology over America. If you basically, like a Ben Shapiro, where he says you're basically hurting this country if they can't get foreign aid, now we just have to keep giving a country free money or else they can accuse us of hurting them. They're just taking our money. It's like, why do we have to pay you? Can we do that? Can we say, give us $2 billion a year or else I'm going to say you're hurting me? Isn't that kind of like blackmail? Isn't that kind of like a shakedown? Give me free money or else you're hurting me. That's a little weird. That's where I cross the line. I don't care when people support other countries. So basically, I could see right through this. Most people can. I'm not the only one. But James Lindsay, Seth Dillon, Konstantin Kizin, they're basically trying to sheep herd the Republican movement away from the best people and the smartest people because they see it as a threat. Because once people realize that Zionism in the Republican Party is prioritized in front of America, and people like Tucker Carlson are super chill about it, but they realize that that's happening, they're trying to smear them as woke in order to stop you from liking them so you don't side with the better people. I don't care what people think about Candace and Tucker Carlson, but Candace would smoke Seth Dillon in a debate. Tucker Carlson would smoke Seth Dillon in a debate. Either of them would smoke James Lindsay in a debate. I would smoke all of them in a debate. I'm an honest person, and I don't lie, and I'm not subversive, so it's an easy win for me. I'll be calm, I'll be respectful, but I could see right through their lies, and I could pick apart their stupid arguments. They don't debate these people. They run and try to do little sneaky ops like they did. They're like, look, you're like Karl Marx. You can't change the whole Communist Manifesto, give it to somebody and be like, look, you published it. It's like, I could make you post the Quran if I posted. It's like, it doesn't even make any sense. But anyway, I think they've kind of like exposed themselves a little bit where they're trying so hard to make this woke right term stick, and people are just not buying it. So it's interesting to me because it's like they've pretty much exposed themselves. Like they could have been a little sneakier. Nobody would have known who they really are. But now that they've exposed themselves, like they won't take the L on it and they keep pushing it. And the further they push it, the more people that like kind of call them out, and the more prominent people and honest people and people with big followings that are actually conservative and not total frauds. Like, I don't know where they're going with this, but I know what they're doing. They're trying to smear anybody who breaks an anti-Semitism speech law. And that's a way of enforcing the laws without actually pretending like you enforce them, because everybody would know you're a hypocrite if you said you support speech laws. But they're trying to make sure that everybody toes the line of not realizing what's really going on in the conservative movement. So, I don't even have to talk about it that much, and I don't want to give them that much attention because, some people seek attention, but I find it a very interesting like conflict going on in conservative media. And the real root of it is the anti-Semitism speech laws and the fact that so many Republicans of different groups are realizing that something is prioritized before our rights and our interests. And they don't seem to have a problem with that. They seem to smear anybody as woke who notices that that's happening. It's total inversion. It is what it is. Someone said it's a sad day for true free speech, no excuses. I mean, here's the thing about America. I got to take a sip of water. Sorry, my throat is a little rough. As rough as America is, we still have the First Amendment. And I do want to make this point because it's the most clear point, right? If you're pro-Israel, God bless you. If you're Jewish, God bless you. If you're ethnically or religiously or you're atheist, I don't care. God bless everybody. I don't judge people based on their groups. I judge people based on who they are. With that being said, people need to understand anti-Semitism, the term, you can be banned from countries for anti-Semitism, even if you're not wrong. It's just you're being hateful. That's hate speech. You're banned from Australia. Candace Owens, we don't want to have a conversation about what you had a conversation about. You should know that we're not to be questioned. You're banned, right? It can get you banned from countries. It could get you thrown in prison in countries. It could get you arrested in certain countries. That's happening all over the world. So if people in America call you anti-Semitic, here's what they want to happen to you. They want you in jail. They want you banned from countries. They, when I got smeared as anti-Semitic by the press, they want me broke. They want me poor. They want to ruin my business. They want to ruin my life. They're not going to say that, but that's what they want to do. They want to make it so nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to give you money. Nobody wants to do business with you. They're trying to ruin your life. So anybody, I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're a Zionist. I don't care if you're not. I don't care. If you use the term anti-Semitic, but you don't talk about how people are getting thrown in prison for it. You don't talk about how people are getting banned from countries for it. You don't talk about the hundreds of people who are losing their livelihood over that term being falsely used against them. That's what you want to happen to them. You can't be pro-free speech and use that term constantly because that term is being passed into U.S. legislation. So if Trump's passing it, DeSantis is passing it, Sarah Huckabee Sanders passed it, Kemp passed it, all the Republicans are passing it. What's his name is writing a book on it. Chuck Schumer's writing a book on it. Chuck Schumer's trying to pass it. They're trying to take away our First Amendment with the word anti-Semitism for Israel and certain Jewish people, not all, but some. You should be pushing against that if you care about the First Amendment in America. It's already a prison sentence in other countries. It's already getting people banned from other countries. It's already an arrest in other countries. And they want that here. So all the people that are gatekeeping that, they're trying to take away our First Amendment. They're going to say they're not. Oh, I'm not. Then don't call people a word that gets them banned from countries. Don't call, because it doesn't mean anything. I could call you a racist and then you get banned from Africa. Oh, I didn't mean to get you banned. Why are you calling me a racist then? Oh, because you talked about crime statistics in the Black community. Well, are they true? Or are they not true? But anyway, that's just an example. I'm not trying to even talk about that. I'm just saying that's what it is. So anybody that uses that term to smear other people, they want you in jail. They want you thrown out of countries. They want you broke. That's what they want. They're not going to tell you that. That's what they want. So stop using that term. Push back against the speech laws. If you care about free speech in the world, why would you want people thrown in prison for questioning history of anybody who's Jewish? That's illegal. That's a jail sentence in a lot of countries. Isn't that a little weird? So that's who James Lindsay is. That's who Konstantin Kisin, Seth Dillon. They're all, I don't notice the anti-Semitism speech laws. Anybody who does notice them is hateful. They're woke. They're woke. They're woke. Oh, they're all woke. They're all woke. Tucker Carlson's woke. Why is he woke? Because he had a guest on who questioned World War II, specifically certain people's history? Yes, that's why. That's why you hate him. Candace Owens? Why? Everybody that's woke mysteriously just breaks the anti-Semitism IHRA speech laws. Isn't that weird? And then they police them without policing them by being like, you're anti-Semitic and woke. Why? Because, you're not supposed to question World War II. I mean, that really bothers me. Well, luckily, it just bothers you in America because in Australia, it's a lot more of a severe consequence. In Germany, you go to prison. So that's the big battle going on the right. People don't notice it because everybody's basically in on it. And the ones who aren't are the ones who are going to be smeared. Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. These are not the only people, but they're probably the most prolific ones who don't play those games. That's why Tucker's got kicked out of Fox News. It's not the only reason. There was other reasons too, but why do you think Tucker got kicked out of Fox News? Why do you think Candace got kicked out of Daily Wire? Because that's the game they play. Why is Matt Walsh allowed to be there? Because he knows where the line is and he puts his toes right on the line, but he never crosses it. He knows what I know. He knows what Candace knows, but he's not going to cross that line because he can't cross that line because that's what they do there. Is what it is, but the more people that notice this, the more likely we're able to keep our First Amendment in America. If people don't understand this topic or they get tricked by psyops from Seth Dillon and James Lindsay, then it's going to be a long road. But I think the truth wins in the end, so I'm not really concerned about it. I do find it interesting enough to talk about. I'm going to stay a little bit longer, but my throat is so sore. I don't want to make you listen to me for that much longer. I'll try to read a few. Someone said you're literally the only one who talks about the IHRA speech laws. Well, I'm not the only one, but I would say in mainstream Republican media, they can't. Charlie Kirk takes a lot of donor money for his nonprofits to stay afloat. He knows who he takes donor money from. We all know who he takes donor money from. People that want those rules to be in America. One of Trump's biggest donors, she wants those rules in America. And when it was a he wants those rules in America. PragerU, he doesn't agree with them, but he barely pushes back against them. All these other, like everybody's to some extent in on it because they either want those laws secretly to be passed in America or they have a massive bias for Israel and Judaism or Jewish ethnicity. So they're okay with the speech rules because they don't agree with them, but they also don't want you to question history. They don't agree with them, but they don't want you to say that any of their people are loyal to Israel. They don't want to do this, but they're half in, half out. They're phonies. And then they just act like everybody's just being anti-Semitic. It would be like, I've used this example before, but it's so clear. I'm part Italian. If there were Italian speech laws and people hated them, and I just said, oh, you're just being anti-Italophobic, that would mean I'm in on it. You understand? Like, I'm not stupid. I would be like, no, I get why you're saying that. And it's turning people against my people. It's not good. We got to get rid of those speech laws. It would be my main talking point because I knew it would be hurting my people. But it's this cycle where they pretend like they don't see it. They accuse you of hate speech and then they capitalize off of all that and then they profit off of it. So it's like a cycle that never stops. Like, oh, people are hating. We're making money. Oh my gosh, it's hate. It's hate. They don't know. Like, obviously you're in on it if you act like you don't know. If they had Italian speech laws in America where you couldn't question Italy and I just kept calling everybody an anti-Italophobe, that would mean I was actively aware that that's happening. And I'm part of like the controlled opposition to push people away from noticing that it's happening. It's just so obvious. These people are high IQ intellectuals and they don't know what I know. They all know. Everybody's playing the game to some extent. Going down the road, you can't get a high level position when you speak the truth about this. Matt Gaetz was the only person. I think Matt Gaetz was the only person in Trump's entire cabinet that called out the IHRA speech laws. Isn't that interesting? He's the only one. He said, not only are these laws against the First Amendment, it's also against the Bible. Christians, it makes the Bible, I mean, you shouldn't have to need that, but it makes the Bible anti-Semitism. Matt Gaetz said that. He's the only person in Trump's cabinet who's been kicked out. Do you think that's a coincidence? He's been replaced by Pam Bondi, who said that she's going to crack down on Palestinian protests, not riots, protests. This isn't random. Anybody who knows this gets ousted from Republican media. Anybody who knows this gets ousted from high-level positions. That's the truth. You can still be successful. You're just not going to be able to be in the inner circle of gatekeepers. It is what it is. That is why he's gone. Absolutely. And I already did a report on that. The same media that was smearing Matt Gaetz as anti-Semitic is the same media that's cheering that Pam Bondi's going to crack down on protests. They were like, wait, one person's going to be in Trump's administration that stands up against the IHRA speech laws that we're passing around the world? Get him out of there. Oh, he's out? Oh, good. Oh, who'd he get replaced by? Oh, somebody who will enforce them? Oh, perfect. They're not going to tell you that on Fox News. They're not going to tell you that on Newsmax. They're not going to tell you that on Daily Wire. They're not going to tell you that at Turning Point. Nobody's going to tell you that. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Like, I'm just, for an example, not being hateful because there's a lot of cool people there, but sorry, my voice is so rough. I'm probably going to have to end because I don't have any water left. I'm trying to look at who's speaking at Turning Point this year. God bless them. It's a great event. There's a lot of great people there. I just want to look at the thing and see. Let's see. Okay, they got Tucker there. Glenn Beck, Steve Bannon. I'm just going to try to count real quick. Tucker doesn't explicitly talk about him, but I'll count him as talking about him because he basically does. Let's see. Everybody else there. I'm going through. No. Matt Gaetz. I'm just going through. They got Antonio Brown. Bro, they got Antonio Brown speaking there. That's hilarious. Yeah, I would say there's like 3 people on the whole thing that talk about it. Tucker, to some extent, Matt Gaetz, and Marjorie Taylor Greene votes against them. So, I guess there's a power kind of game to be played as well. I think like Tucker is so popular that That's what the whole woke right thing is. Like, they're trying to cancel him, but they can't confront him because he's too popular. So it's like, you know, Tucker is using his leverage to like, he's the number one person on the thing. That's why he's such a big threat. It's like, he's willing to question these things, but at the same time, he's too popular that they can't just like kick him out, you know? So we gotta pray for our people that are in the system as well. You can't, everything can't be done from like outside where everyone's like, oh, Tucker's a shill, this or that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you can act that way, but like, you want some people in. You don't want everybody on the outside looking in. So it's, you know, you don't want to be jealous or hateful, be like, how could they be there if it's not? It's like, there's only a couple there, but I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for Tucker. And even like, you know, Candace, people are suspicious of Candace because she's so powerful and successful. You could be suspicious. I don't care. But like, you know, everybody will be like, oh, she's a shill because she does that. It's like, okay, then just make enemies with everybody popular saying what you want them to say. And that'll be real good, right? It's like a level system. It's like, you want people above you doing certain things, because if not, then you're just going to stick out like a sore thumb. And then it's going to be easier for people to, you know, make your life miserable. But yeah, I would say Matt Getz votes good on that. Marjorie Taylor Greene votes good on that. Obviously Thomas Massey, but he's not there. Tucker, it's all good. Turning Point's going to be booming. They do great events. They do some great work. I'll say this, and then I'm probably just going to leave. I don't want you to have to like listen to my crappy voice today. It's probably annoying and doesn't sound good, but you know, everybody plays a role. So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I try to be as graceful as possible. Sometimes I get annoyed, but it's like, everyone will play a role. Believe in yourself and believe in the culture shift. And once the culture shifts, a lot of these people will shift. It doesn't mean you have to like them or trust them, but you know, I wouldn't like panic and be like, oh, we can't do it. It's like, we're doing it. It's happening. I believe that the right thing will be done. And I'm not giving up the First Amendment, nor is anybody else. I've seen a massive improvement on social media of just so much more open-mindedness and like First Amendment being utilized. And, you know, we'll keep it moving forward. And then everybody will catch up eventually. So it's all good. Someone said Schiff. Adam Schiff, this is another thing that I read recently, that Politico is reporting that Biden may preemptively pardon, I think it was Schiff, McCain, and Fauci, from what I read. And it's like, what did Fauci do? Why would you pardon him? What did he do? Huh? Can you let us know what Fauci did? We're interested. Why would you give him a preemptive pardon? He must have done something, huh? I wonder what Fauci did. Someone said, you can't make progress only speaking to the choir. Marla, I love that comment. I appreciate you as like one of my favorite supporters who's always just here and rocking. Exactly. And I think at the end of the day, if you want to make progress, you absolutely can't preach to the choir. You got to get other people to hear you out. So it all, like, say like Candace, she's an easy example for me. Candace is so, people don't realize how popular Candace is, and she's been this popular for a long time now. Like, I've met women who were like liberal, and they like Candace Owens. They're from like other countries, but they're like, I like Candace Owens. She's so popular, and she's such a strong, I don't want to say that, this sounds so corny, but like a strong Black woman. That's so cringe. But she's, you know, like different people reach different people, and Candace, being who she is, she's reached so many people that no one could reach on topics of conservatism and other topics that like I would never get to, Trump would never get to, because everybody has a different energy. So not only can we not preach to the choir, but we have to, like, I burn certain bridges personally. Like, I'm not trying to burn a bridge, but like James Lindsay is a deceiver. You know, Seth Dillon is a deceiver. I like Seth Dillon's comedy. He seems like a nice guy. But the whole woke right bullshit they're doing is stupid. But I'm not trying to like burn bridges for no reason, you know, but I just don't like them. And it's just the truth. With that being said, like, I like Tucker Carlson. Yeah, he's not perfect, but like everybody's got to play a different role, and everybody has to be true to themselves. Like, everyone isn't who you want them to be all the time. So it's like, as long as they're not being complete Decepticons, then it's like, it is what it is to me. But we all have our own discernment. So I respect yours as well. But like, you know, Candace is an example of someone who reached millions of people who just never would have listened to anybody else. And I try to think about that with my content as well. It's like, okay, yeah, this is what I think, but how do I get through to other people? And I'm trying to get back to that more. I go through phases because in general, like, do you guys mind real quick? I'm gonna just play like a video of Joe Biden giving our money to Africa, and then I'm just gonna get some I'm gonna get some water. Actually, I'm gonna play Eric Adams again real quick. Let me get some water, and then I could stay for a little bit longer.
Those who are here committing crimes, robberies, shooting at police officers, raping innocent people, have been a harm to our country. I want to sit down and hear the plan on how we're going to address them. Those are the people I am talking about, and I would love to sit down with the board of Czar and hear his thoughts on how we're going to address those who are.
That was Eric J. Trump right there. That's Trump's black brother. I'm just kidding. I made that up, but I'm going to end soon anyway. I want to say this, like, in 2019, 2017, 2018, and 2020, 2021 too, all I did was try to make content that was convincing to people who didn't agree with me. Recently, I haven't been doing that as much. I've been talking to my own audience, but I've been doing it strategically because some people think I want to like reach a lot of people all the time, which that is the goal, to like, make a difference, etc. But also I try to like go through phases where it's like, I try to pick and choose my spots and pick and choose my moments. And I told people this as well. I'm moving, I'm building a studio, I'm getting assistants. I'm really refining my business model. And I plan to, get back to a lot of stuff that I've gotten away from, but I'm also doing it purposely. Like I have somebody that's going to work with me. So I was just going through some of my numbers today, and like some people, I'm just going to look at them real quick. Some people will be like, Anami, I haven't seen you on Instagram. Like, where'd you go? Are you okay? And it's like, this is my last 28 days on Facebook. It says I have 63 million views. I'm guessing those are impressions because I don't think I have 60 million video views, but that's what it says. On Twitter, in the last month, I have 71 million impressions. So it's like a down month for me where it's like, where's your videos? I don't see them. I'm reaching 140 million people in a month. Like, what? I'm not like a psychopath. Like I gotta like reach 1 trillion. It's like there's not, So it's like I go through phases, but I do know in general. Sometimes I like talking to my people. I like just having fun and taking it chill. Like I don't think this video is gonna get 1 million views, but I don't care. I'm doing it for myself and for my audience that does care. But it's like there's going to be moments where I'm going to scale again and try to get out there. It's just in the past, I've done that. And to be honest, I think that's when I got more views. I got more views when my videos are more shareable. When people want to share them with other people to a huge extent, that's when they get millions of views. When it's just like an hour-long podcast that like 50,000 people want to hear, so then it is what it is. But I do think, like Marlo was saying, if you talk to like that's not how you make change. Like you don't just talk to the same people over and over and then expect different results. You got to get through to other people. But let's celebrate while we can. Like this election, it really showed that the culture is shifting. Twitter has shifted astronomically. I've seen social media. People are getting way more aware of topics that they weren't aware of. Everybody's getting more conservative. Like these are really good trends. I don't see why that won't continue. So we all play our part and we pick our spots. But yeah, I think there's a lot of positive shift going on. Let's see. Belinda said, I watch you because of your honesty. Thank you. I posted a Facebook post of someone left a funny comment and accused me of something, but it was funny. It's not true. That's not why I got sick, but that was a funny comment. Anyway, I posted like Lindsey Graham talking to Pam Bondi, and then someone said in the comments, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I should trust you. Here you go again." And I'm like, I don't know who you think I am, but like I can't post like. Some people just want like Trump, and other people want you to just like shit on Trump all the time. It's like, I try to be honest. I try to be accurate, but also sometimes I just try to report things. Like, sometimes on Facebook, I'm just posting stuff that's interesting to me or like is news. And then you don't need my opinion. Just, you could have your own opinion on it. Like, I don't care what you think, but it's like, I can't post Pam Bondi talking to Lindsey Graham. It's just, everybody draws the funniest lines to me. Most people don't care, but it's like, Trump supporters get mad at me when I post anything that breaks their like NPC, like pro-Trump mold. Not all people. I'm not blaming all Trump supporters. I'm just saying like those type of Trump supporters. And then it's like truthers get mad at me if I like somebody that they don't like. It's like, let me give you an example. Like, I like Elon Musk. I just do, but I don't 100% trust him, but I like him. I have friends that don't trust Elon Musk and don't like Elon Musk. I would never hate somebody based on their perception of Elon Musk. Like, I know people that really don't like him and we're still friends. But if you don't respect me enough, or you don't trust me enough, or you don't like that I like Elon Musk, then it's like, I guess we're not friends. I guess that's the deciding factor, is like, I have to agree with you on that. You liking Elon Musk or not doesn't. And I like Elon Musk for valid reasons. He was very early on COVID. He amplified some of my posts in 2020 that nobody would amplify. Like, the media was smearing me. Trump didn't give a crap. Republicans didn't give a crap. The Surgeon General blocked me. And Elon Musk is responding to me and amplifying my message, which is a pure message. And I'm sitting in an apartment by myself or with my friend during COVID. It's like, I appreciate him for that. It's not like the flattery that gets me, like, oh, he flattered me. It's the fact that he amplified the true message for the people in May of 2020. Like, I there's a lot of people that hate Elon that didn't do that, So it's like, I appreciate certain things and I'm skeptical of others, but if someone doesn't like Elon, I don't burn a bridge with them. But people like to burn bridges with me over my perception of stuff. They'll be like, you don't understand. Pete Hegseth is a shill. You're making a straw man off of what I said. I never said Pete Hegseth is 100% the best. I just said, if he's not 100% controllable, Lindsey Graham doesn't like him. He wants Marco Rubio. He wants Pam Bondi. You know what I'm saying? And Pete Hegseth, to be honest, I don't even really trust him. But if they're trying to replace him, there's a reason. It's like, people can't wrestle with those concepts, and it bothers me a little bit, but maybe not really. But it's like, oh, you're a shill if you don't get it. It's like, you don't, like, my analysis is too complex for you or something. And it's not, I'm not acting like I'm freaking creating a new theory out here for you to, like, that you can't understand or fathom because I'm so smart. But it's like, there's nuance to everything. Like, people get mad at me for being right about stuff. It's like the Tucker thing. There's a reason people are mad at Tucker. It's not because he wears a red bracelet, and it's not because he shills some things that you don't like that he shills. It's because he questions certain paradoxes or paradigms that they don't want questioned. Paradigms would be a better word than paradoxes there. Paradoxes doesn't make sense. But, I like to use big words sometimes to pretend like I'm smart, and then everybody will like me. I'll be like Jordan Peterson. I'll be like, well, the soliloquy. I can't even do impressions. My voice is so trash, but it's like, you just say soliloquy, and then some people think you're smart, Or Sam Harris. Sam Harris is like, my mom wrote the Golden Girls, okay? I'm smart. You're like, okay, this could be true. I'm just playing. I don't think she wrote it. Maybe she produced it. I have no idea. Let's look it up. Sam Harris, mom, Golden Girls. He is the son of the late actor Berkeley Harris, who appeared mainly in Western films, and television writer and producer Susan Harris, who created the Golden Girls. Well, I like the Golden Girls, so that's cool. It's a cool thing to do. Golden Girls are cool. I have a Golden Girl shirt, actually. I don't know where it is. I must have lost it because I haven't worn it in like a year. But when I used to wear it, the old ladies are like, nice Golden Girl shirt. And I'm like, thank you. And that's really all that happened. Get your mind out of the gutter. That's all. It's a friendly compliment. Walk by, grab a coffee. Anomaly, just getting here. I wanted to bring the fact that we memory hold the fact that HRC MS Exchange server didn't have SSL certification for several months. That kind of went over my head. I understand what you're talking about with the servers, but I don't know the specifics of like the technology that she had or didn't have. I'd have to look into it. I wonder if these picks were supposed to fail to bring in the real candidate. I think he picked who he wanted, to be honest. I don't think he's playing 3D chess with Matt Gaetz. I just think Matt Gaetz's scandals or issues got so big that Matt pulled out, or they told him to pull out. I'm not really sure, but I think that they tried to set up Matt Gaetz to some extent, and now he's on Cameo. It's so sad to me. He went from attorney general to like out of Congress, and he's just like, I have a Cameo page. It's like, I have a Cameo page too, but I wasn't about to be attorney general. Like, imagine if I'm like, I'm attorney general, and then I'm like just doing cameos. It's like, bro, what a come down for Matt Gaetz. That was real sad to me. I hope he gets some sort of position, because that was a tough one for me. Someone said, I'm wondering, of course, vocabulary is fun and intelligence shared. It's good to have a good vocabulary, but I feel like left-wing people do this more than right-wing people. Not all, but there's some right-wing people that do it too. But, you know, like left-wingers have that like pseudo-intellectualism. They're like, I went to Yale. It's like you went to Yale for 4 years, but you don't even realize that like, you know, like they're wrong about so many basic common sense things, but they're like, I learned these terms at Harvard. It's like, that's awesome. And education is great and vocabulary is great. And being able to really have a strong grasp over the English language is awesome. But if you don't know that 1 + 1 = 2, and you don't know basic math and science, and now you're getting tricked by like the most obvious psyops, then it's like, what's the point of having such a huge vocabulary if you get tricked by like a second grade math equation? So someone said, us old girls appreciate being around young, handsome guys like you, Anomaly. Well, thank you so much. You know, if I'm not getting attention from women my age, I like to just hang out around the old ladies. So I, you know, get some compliments and then I go, and then I'm like, okay, I feel good. I can go home. I'm just kidding. I don't do that, but that's kind of like a funny concept. Hopefully I get attention from chicks my age too, or else I'd cry and then I'd run home and then I'd cry and then I'd log into Reddit and then I'd just log into Twitter and then just I'd make a red pill podcast. I'd be like, women, you know, the problem with women is that they don't all love me at the same time. That's the problem with women. They're all sluts. All of them. You're like, okay, dude, I don't know. But no, I don't know. No disrespect. I mean, some red pill bros make some valid points, honestly, but I don't know. I feel like some of them, it's like this interesting, like shock value combined with like edgy posts in order to, I don't know. At the same time, women don't really make sense. So sometimes like, you know, that weird stuff works, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Someone said Gates got rid of his blackmail scheme by dropping out. Probably got some special investigation role, said Region. Could be that. Could also just be, you know, he didn't have enough votes and Trump was like, listen, Maddie, step down, step out, go away, come back, and then go away and come back again. And he's like, sir, yes, sir. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's not true. Someone said, this guy's on fire today. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. I appreciate it. I'm on fire? Where? Get it? That's a dad joke. Like, I thought I was literally on fire. You get what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. Anyway, damn, that was like the funniest thing ever said on YouTube. Dude, I can't believe this show doesn't get like 1 billion views. I think I'm being like shadow banned or something. Cause like with jokes like that, it's like, you know, everyone should be watching me. I don't understand. Like if I don't get 2 million live viewers per show, then I'm definitely being targeted by like the deep state through Twitter, I think for sure. You know, like if everyone doesn't like me, it's for sure like censorship. Thank you, Marla. Let's read a woman's comment. Now that women can talk and stuff in the modern age, you know, we got it while they have the freedom, we got to read their comments. Grace said, I hate that some people just do not know when to slow down on the analysis of everything. Reminds me of Benny's Give It a Rest Soon, man. You talking to me or what? Actually, you know what? Let's not read comments from women. Are you saying I don't know when to stop, or you're partially right? I don't know. I probably should not talk today, I guess. I don't know. Someone said anyone who doesn't like Anomaly is a Fed. Not anyone, but definitely the conversion rate. It's over 25%. But yeah, anyone who doesn't like me is definitely just a bad person. Oh, you know, I'm just kidding. We're building an army of angels and the greatest people. We got the best, folks. We got the best whites, the best blacks, the best Mexicans, the best Christian, Jews, and Muslim. Okay, I have to say them all because if you just say one, it could be hate speech. Okay, we got the best. We got the best men. We got the best women. We got Caitlyn Jenner. We got the best trannies on our side. We got them. We got Antonio Brown. We got Kid Rock. We got a really big squad. We're going to roll up. We're going to show up and we're going to show out. Tom Homan's going to deport me. And then I'm going to come back just to show you that it's possible to make it in this country legally. Okay. Yeah, we got the best here. I appreciate y'all. What is a woman? Here, let me explain that. A woman. So, okay. So like there was this guy, like his name was like God, and then he was like, yo, I want to like create people, right? So then he was like, you Adam, that's a good name for you. And then he throws him there, and then Adam's like, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. And then he's like, oh, let me take your rib. We'll make Eve. And then, a woman was created. She had nipples, but so did the man. But the woman, hers were more outwards because she was a woman. I can't really explain it, but you know what I'm talking about. They're called boobs. And then he made a different private part. It's like if you've ever I'm sure we have some mechanics here and some like real hard workers. It's like when you put it, I don't want to be too graphic, but it's like sometimes you got to screw something in. You screw it in a hole, and then you put the washer around it, and then you tighten it up. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like what Adam and Eve did, sort of. But then there was like a snake, and he was like, I work for the devil. And of course, because it's a woman, women always do this. Like, wait, I want to go to Coachella. Yeah, no, I would love to see Diplo. And then the next thing you know, she ruins everything. And then evil exists because of women. So that's kind of what a woman is. But like nowadays, I don't know. I'm not really sure anymore because there's a lot of pills and medication and just chopping off of parts that it's getting a little confusing out here. So, wear a hard hat, go home by 10 p.m. and definitely, find God, because anything could happen out here. So that's my best thought. But women are cool, but they do get tricked a lot, but so do men. So, who knows? Adam ate the fruit too. Yeah, but it's easier to blame women than to take responsibility. So that's what I do. That's what we do here on the Red Pill Podcast. We just blame women for all of our downfalls. And, it's definitely not the men, it's them. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Adam could have been better too. I think he could have done better. But Eve wanted to go to Coachella. She heard that Diplo was playing, and he was like, but we should start a family and we should praise the Lord. And she's like, yeah, but like Steve Aoki is going to throw a cake in someone's face, and I want to get caked by Steve Aoki. And it's like, are you serious? We have everything we could possibly want here. She's like, yeah, but this promoter, he said that Steve Aoki is going to throw a cake in my face. That promoter's literally a snake. Look at him. It's a snake on a tree. It's not even a real promoter. She's like, yeah, but he says he has free tickets to Coachella. I really want to go. It's like, that's what happened, basically, allegedly, Maybe I read it wrong. I don't know. I got to go back to it. Someone said I've been listening to JLP. I actually haven't. I like Jesse, but I haven't listened to him in years. I've spoken to him though. I've brought people to his podcast. I've recruited podcast guests for him and his team. But I don't know. Ask Jesse if I would say we're friends, but we definitely don't agree on everything. But I like Jesse. We're not best friends, but we know each other. He knows who I am. I know who he is. Give us an Eminem impression. That's an awfully hot coffee pot. Should I drop it on Donald Trump? Probably not. Ted Cruz is a snooze. He drinks booze. Ooze. Ooh. Dude, this new 8 Mile sequel sucks. Someone said Steve Aoki is an anagram for jet fuel, can't melt still beams. That's obviously not true, but that's funny. See, like that's my type of humor. I thought that was really funny. Obviously not as funny as me because we don't want to have too many chefs in this kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So relax. You're impressing the women out there. You might. No, I'm just kidding. It's cool. Yeah, everybody should contribute and stuff. But anyway, someone said that's because we're all unintelligent Trump supporters. I'm trash, Someone made a Puerto Rican joke before. They were like, when's Anomaly going back to his island of trash? I felt like it was like partially rude, but also kind of funny. So I'm only a quarter to 8% supposed to deport to Puerto Rico, even though it's an American, region. But I'm also Italian. I'm also Polish, and I'm also Czechoslovakian, which has now been turned into 2 different countries. So I believe I'm Czechoslovakian, Puerto Rican, Italian. I think my Puerto Rican grandma used to say she was part German too. So I'm guessing if I took a DNA test, it would be like all over the place. I haven't taken one because I don't want to give Susan Wojcicki's sister my DNA, but at the same time, it sounds kind of fun. I don't know. Maybe I should roll the dice because I am curious. Like, what am I really? Like, how Polish am I? How Puerto Rican am I? How Czechoslovakian am I? Am I German? Was my grandma, like, was she also mixed? I'm not really sure. And then I talked to, this is a true story. My great aunt, who is Italian, she actually knew everything. So I asked her a question before she passed. Rest in peace, Aunt Mary. Legend, wise, epic. I love Aunt Mary. She knew everything. So I was like, tell me about everything about my family. And like, she told me that my Puerto Rican family like they got kicked out of Italy or something. And then they had to go to Puerto Rico at one point. Like, I was like, I got to look into that or do some research. But I was like, wait, why do we get kicked out of Italy? So my grandfather was from Italy. He lived in Italy. He moved to America. He was like full Italian, I think. My Puerto Rican grandma apparently lived on an island or something, or like near Italy, got kicked out, went to Puerto Rico, and also claims that she was part German. But I don't know, like, was she like 5% or something, or was she not at all? I have no idea, because I don't think she even had DNA tests. And then my one grandfather's Polish, from Poland, and then my grandma, my Czechoslovakian grandma, I don't know if she died when I was very young. Rest in peace, Grandma Alice. I don't know if she was born in Czechoslovakia or born in America, or I'm not really sure. I got to ask my family. I don't even know if they know. So I got to figure all that out. What do you guys think? Like, I want to know my actual DNA to like the extent, but I don't want to give them my DNA. But it is kind of interesting, you know, like what if I'm other stuff? Would I do 23andMe or Ancestry? I would do the one that Susan Wojcicki from YouTube's sister doesn't own. That's what I would do. Like, you know, but if I were to do one, but at the same time, I don't know. I kind of don't want to do it, but I kind of do. They already got it. Yeah, they probably have it. Maybe I'll get someone in my family to do it that has the same genetics as me. I don't know. Do you have the same like your sister or your family member? Like, are you know, like if you have a brother or sister, would they technically have the same exact DNA as you? I think they should, right? I don't know. It is interesting though. Send them a stool sample. That's kind of disgusting. Yeah, I'm all mixed up. I think when it comes to like race too, I don't know if that gives me an interesting perspective, but because I'm for at least 4 or 5 different things, probably at least 5. Like I get race, but at the same time, I don't hate anybody, you know, like I'm not so one race but I respect people that are. Like, I get it. It's like, if you're 100% Swedish, like that's what you are. Like, you have a nation, you have a race. That's cool. So I see it from both sides, but at the same time, I think like what I don't like is there's certain groups that they are very nationalistic, right? They're very ethnocentric, but then they say that it's racist and hateful if anyone else is ethnic, nationalistic, or ethnocentric. And it's like, that's just sneaky. Like, if you can do it, then everyone should do it. If you can't do it, nobody can do it. How come you do it to the fullest extent, but then you get mad when other people do it? That's kind of weird to me. So I think on a personal level, you don't have to be any of these things, but it's just so cringe to call people racist all the time, because it's like, you call someone racist, you call them sexist, you call them anti-Semitic, you call them xenophobic, you call them a climate denier, a conspiracy theorist, an anti-vaxxer, all the words. But you never say if they're right or not. Like, I don't need those words in order to prove my point. If I think someone's racist, I can tell you why they're wrong without using the word racist. If I had to use the word racist, I probably am wrong, and I just don't know how to explain it. So it's like, can you prove someone is wrong without using those words? Someone said, stop, just stop it. Bro, why are you trying to stop my podcast? You're here every day. You're half the time you're saying cool stuff, half the time you're saying snarky stuff, but it's like, just stop, just stop. Why would I stop my show that you watch every time? Why would I stop? You stop. Okay? Because if you stop, no one notices. If I stop, the whole show stops, and then you have nothing to talk about. So let's not go there. Do I ski? I did ski last year. I'm not great at it, but I do ski over snowboard. I kind of want to read this comment. I don't know if it's true or if I'll get banned for it, but it's kind of interesting. So I don't know if this is true, but Psy Girl said this. Hopefully this doesn't get me in trouble. Psy Girl said, inbreeding promotes Down syndrome and other recessive traits, but it makes for genius banjo players. I have no idea if that's true. I mean, to some extent, part of it's probably true, but is that real? Is that how you get a good banjo player? Dude, people are on point today. See, at least, like, if you're gonna say like crazy stuff, at least be funny. Like, the people that are like, you suck, it's like, now you're not contributing anything fun to the show. At least like make a statement like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's get our thrills in. If we're gonna get canceled, let's have fun with it. Someone said, stop, drop, shut it down, open up shop. Is that like, who says that? Stop, drop, shut it down, open up, stop. That's a Rough Rider song. You gangster now, Brett? Dude, I called into this MMA show that I watch. I watch like an MMA show sometimes when I'm bored, and I gave them a super chat, and then like they just started roasting me off my profile picture, and I was like, yo, I might have to beef with this channel. I'm not even gonna give them attention because it's unnecessary, and it's actually funny. I'm not actually mad, but I give them a super chat, right? I gave them like $9 or whatever, and they were like anomaly news analysis in hip hop, and the guy goes, nothing says news analysis of hip hop like a white guy that looks like Jesus. And then I was like, bro, I'm a beef with you. You want to act like I'm so hip hop now? I mean, I do hip hop, but it's news analysis and hip hop. It's not news analysis of hip hop. But anyway, it's like, that's what you're going to say to me, bro? I'm going to start a rap beef with you. So I might have to beef with my channel because they just started roasting me. I was like, dude, I give $9 and you guys just shit on me. I was like, what kind of show is this? Come on, I want my money back. I thought people were supposed to suck up to you when you super chat. You give them $9 and they're like, oh, dude, I love you. You don't need to just like shit on them for, hey, $50 from this idiot. You know, this guy, this disgrace. You're like, dude, relax, bro. I just gave you money. You're like, yeah. It's too late. You can't undo it now. Yeah, I was just like, dang, I'm catching strays out here. I'm just watching the UFC content. It's rough. No more super chats for them. Seriously, I'm not doing it. But now the Jesus part's not looking. He just said nothing says news analysis in hip hop like a white guy with long hair. Okay, I can't do news analysis. I get it. You're not supposed to rap if you're not white, but it's like that's what a white guy says that doesn't even know rap. How come people that are black and like pioneers of hip hop respect me, but some white guy who does MMA doesn't? It's okay. I think like part of me, I like to talk shit. Like I don't do it here because it's not really professional all the time, but like in person, I love to shit talk. Like not in like a crazy evil way or anything, but I like to like mess with my friends. You know, like you don't as a guy. This is why I think like when they call you like homophobic, it's so gay. But it's like as a man, like straight men call each other gay. Like that just kind of happens. I don't know. Like, you're gay. Like, no, you're gay. And like neither person's gay, but you just say that if you're friends with someone, you like make jokes and you're like, you're an idiot. You're like, I can't explain it, but guys do that to each other. So I forget where I was going with that. Oh yeah. I like to say funny things and like make fun of my friends, but not in like a rude, hurtful way, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I think when people do say something funny and make fun of me, it makes me want to just like it's like a diss battle or something. I just want to diss them back, only because I think it's funny, not because I'm like genuinely mad at it. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's funny to say funny things. Like I try to be funny with my friends. Guys don't do that now. I don't know what guys do now, but some probably still do that. Some don't. No more super chats for them. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna give them any more money, but that's okay. I probably wasn't gonna super chat them anyway. If white rappers can't sell, it means the audience is racist. Oh, for sure. Like every time I have a hit, like the world is in harmony. Every time my song flops, it's racism. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a white. Right now, I'm just kidding, but I'll say this, and this goes for like anything. When I grew up and I started rapping, I knew that it was weird for white people to rap. Like, I'm not even going to pretend like it wasn't, but it's not like white people can't rap, but like it could be really corny if you're not authentic and you're not good. Like if you're a white rapper who sucks, it's just so cringe. It's cringe if you're any color and suck, but like I never let it bother me because like growing up, it just inspired me to be great. Like anytime I freestyled, I would gain people's respect by freestyling and making things up on the spot, talking about the room. And they knew I was coming up with it on the spot. Like I didn't write it. I just would make it up. I was really good at freestyling. So it's like, I like to earn people's respect. I think like, you know, say, I don't use the word racist, but say they were being racist against me. Like he's white, he shouldn't rap. I like it. I like that racism. Not literally, like, I don't care, but I'm just saying it's like, it makes me be better. Like the truth is, yeah, like every white person shouldn't rap. Every black person shouldn't rap either. But like, it is cringe when white people suck at rap. So, but then it's my job to be really good or else I shouldn't rap. It's like basketball. People will be like, oh, white boys can't. Look at the NBA. There's a lot of white people, but they're good. Like no one gets mad at good people. So I never experienced like racism because it doesn't matter. Like I was always good. I got better. And like people that were in rap that were black were like, I like that you're authentic. I like that you're not trying to act black. I like that. Like they would always compliment me and they're like, I think you're better than this person and that person. So I never had an issue with it because I see everything as a challenge. It's like, no, I like, you don't want to be white and get into rap and be like, I'm white and I'm oppressed. Like that's the gayest thing ever. Like, it's just like, you should be so good that people like you. It's like the only route, you know? It's just like, oh, do you not like me because my skin color? It's like, if you even have to think that for a second in rap, you might as well just quit. Because at the end of the day, it's just like, if you're good enough, someone will listen. So you'll get some sort of opportunity. And I would say it's been harder doing news and rapping than it was being white and rapping. Like it doesn't really matter that much. But doing news and rapping, it's like when you get popular for something else, it's harder to make something else work. Like, you know, it would be like if I just start talking about like football, like none of my channel would care. It's not that maybe I'd be a good football guy, but it's like, it's just not what I do. So that's been more of like a hurdle to get over, is like that, you know, you gain millions of followers for news analysis, and now the news guy's trying to rap, even though I rap before news. That's been like a more interesting hurdle, but everything happens for a reason. So I don't know. I'm just such not a victim that I don't care. It's like, if I got to just get better and make better songs and do better stuff. And when it's good enough, people will see it. And if it's good and people don't see it, then eventually, hopefully they will. I don't know. Tiger Woods culturally appropriated golf. I don't know. He did? I just think he was like half black and Asian and he was good. You know, like it's just like, if you're good enough, you don't have to do the Bubba Wallace thing. Bubba Wallace is not that good of a NASCAR driver. So he's like, oh, and then like the FBI got involved and you're like, oh, and it's like, was that really what you said it was, or was it a garage door pull? Like, it didn't seem like, you know, they pulled this whole thing where like, oh, the racism. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, golf is a very white sport too. How come Tiger Woods didn't? Because he was good and everybody liked him and he was cool. You know, like, just be cool. If you're cool, people will like you. Not everyone will like you, but like anybody that plays like the victim route, it's just cringe. Tiger Woods is like, he was my favorite golfer growing up. It wasn't even that he was black or part Asian. It's just like, he was great. Being great is awesome. Like, it's awesome to be good at something. So it did make him stand out too. But at the same time, look at his stats. Tiger Woods, the best modern golfer. The only one in Tiger's league are older golfers, Jack Nicklaus, people like that. He was the best of our era. Everybody liked him. You know, it's like, it's that easy. You know, just be cool, be good. And most ethnic groups will like you. And then the good people will like you and bad people won't. And then it's a good time. What does the term hip hop even mean? Well, hip hop, I don't know if it stands for something longer, but it used to be multiple things like dancing, b-boying, rapping, you know, emceeing. I take lyrics very seriously. Like I'm not a big fan of like bad rappers. I like the lyrics. I like the poetry of it. I think it's cool to be able to rhyme and do a poem and make it sound cool. And like, you know, even my last song, like it's called 9-Minute Masterpiece. Like if you just took the lyrics and you wrote them all down, or you looked at the lyrics, it's a great poem. It's a great poem with a great rhyme scheme and a great message. I like poetry. I like lyrics. That's the part that's my favorite. Of course, it's got to sound good or else nobody was going to listen to it. But some people just like the beat and they don't care what people are saying. I always cared about the message and like the vibe of it, the flow, how people are able to maneuver on a beat. Because when you hear a beat, like especially I love rap. I've been rapping for almost half my life now, maybe more. It's like the beat sounds a certain way and there's so many ways that you can rap on it. Like, like a true lyricist and a true guy who has flow. Like some people, they're just like da 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 da, and it's like, but if you're like da 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 ba 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 da ba da 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 and like you could just dance, it's like lyrically you could just like dance over the beat and just like do something crazy where like most people, they don't even think that way. So I love rap. I love the lyrics. I love the flow. I love the sound. I was always good at lyrics and flow, and my sound has always been an obstacle. Some people, they have like an amazing voice like The Weeknd. It's like, it doesn't even matter what he's saying. He's like, hoo, hoo, and you're like, that sounds beautiful. Like he could be talking about drugs and it sounds like a woman. You don't even know. But like, I don't have a great voice like that. So I obviously like, just it's not my strongest point. So as you get better, you start to learn what sounds good and not, because Of course, if your lyrics and your flow have a bad note that you're hitting, it is not pleasing to people's ears, then it's not going to be as good as it could be, you know? Someone said Moon Man. I don't know if you're talking about Kid Cudi, but like maybe you're talking about something else. He was someone who like lyrically, it's not that he was bad, but Kid Cudi lyrically, it's not like lyrics are his strong suit. Not saying he's bad at all, because he is good, and he's deep, but like his rhyme schemes are not complex. But the sounds he makes and the way he does it is very unique and interesting, and it sounds amazing. So it's like, I don't know. There's a real art to it, and there's some things that some people are good at and some people aren't. Someone like Busta Rhymes or something, he could just rap so fast, or Tech Nine, they have this special ability to rap really fast and sound good. Like everybody's got something. Anyway, let's move on. I'm getting into it. Spit a freestyle. You don't want to hear one right now, but maybe sometime. $5 super chat said, make an R&B song with auto-tune. I could produce it for free. I don't use auto-tune. It's not my I don't want to do R&B, but thanks. Do a rap song named Try That in a Big City. Well, I don't want to copy a concept that's already been made by a country song. Try That in a Big City. That's like the reverse country. It's like, nah, that's not my style. Old Kanye or current Kanye? Well, I mean, I don't know what you mean by current Kanye, because he's like, do you mean like the last 3 years of his music or like the last 10 years of his music? I like Kanye a lot as an artist, so I would say I think he's got one of the best discographies. Most people don't have as many good projects as he has. I think he's top 5 all time because he's got so many good projects. Like his old stuff is good, but you can't say that Jesus is King wasn't a good album. Like all his albums are good. So I can't really pick an older or new. I like his podcasts. And it's like, I thought of a joke before, but someone's like, do you like Kanye? And you're like, I'm a huge Kanye fan. And they're like, what song do you like? And you're like, wait, he does music? I'm just a fan of his podcast. They're like, oh my gosh, that's the worst thing I've heard. You're like, that's a good joke. But yeah, no, obviously I've heard Kanye's music, but yeah. I thought the Drink Champs podcast, the first one that he got canceled for, I was like, yo, that's the crazy. I was like, that's a wild podcast. And I listened to it like twice because I was like, I knew something was going to happen. I was like, he was going too hard in the paint. Yeah, it's like, you got old Kanye, you got new Kanye, you got podcast Kanye, you got My Banks Got Closed Kanye, you got InfoWars Kanye, you got Titanium Teeth Kanye, you got Japan Kanye, you know, Vultures Kanye. He's like 20 different people. So I don't know. Anyway, I'll read one or two more. We'll end it soon. Appreciate you guys. Letting you guys know, if you want to get a beanie, I got blue beanies and black beanies at my website. I don't know if the code still works. It might still work, but the code is Turkey. I don't know. Like, hopefully it works, but if it doesn't, sorry. But it was 20% off, and a lot of people took advantage of that sale, and some people did. And if you didn't, let me just tell you, you missed the boat, or you didn't miss the boat. You know what? I'll check right now. Let's see if the code still works. Because I did set it for longer than like Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday, guys. It's a special day here on the interwebs. 20% off everything on Cyber Monday. And then it's Technology Tuesday. Technology Tuesday is a day you get 25% off. And then you got Wednesday. You got Wires Wednesday. If you're into wires, you're into computers, you're into technology, you got Wires Wednesday, Cyber Monday, Technology Tuesday, and Technology Thursday. I know we told you technology was a Tuesday, but it's also a Thursday because it starts with the T as well. And then we got Freaky Friday. All Lindsay Lohan movies are 50% off today. Lindsay Lohan movies, Freaky Friday. Guys, we got Extreme Saturday and Silly Sunday. You get 20% off as well. It's a really limited time sale that just coincidentally happens on every day all the time. It never ends. But get it now or else it's sold out. Okay, the code Turkey is off, but I'm going to put it back on for another day because I said it. Let me see. 12. We'll just put it till Friday. Who cares? Whatever. Friday. Save it. Code Turkey still going, folks. I just reactivated it on Shopify. I'm that guy. 20% off with code Turkey. Turkey. But anomaly, why Turkey? Why use that word? Well, Jeremiah, thank you for asking. I use the word turkey because Thanksgiving is turkey. You eat turkey on Thanksgiving, and it was a Thanksgiving code, but I'm extending it. So get a blue beanie, get a black beanie. My white hats are sold out. My green hats are sold out. My cream hats are sold out, cream colored. I have pink hats. They're sold out. A lot of my shirts are sold out. Most of my sweatshirts are sold out. So anything you see there, it's a blowout sale where I'm trying to sell it all out, but I think I overbought hats and I'm not going to sell those out. I'm just being honest. The blue hats, I want to say I have like 18 left. So the blue hats will sell out. The black hats, I have like hundreds. I just bought a crap load. So I would be shocked if I sold those out this year, but that's okay. We'll sell them out next year. So check that out. And then I'm going to update, get the hats. I guess the dad hats are really popular. Like I'm always trying to do innovative stuff, but we got to feed the people what they want. So code turkey, 20% off dreamrare.com. Last comment. I'll read this. Anomaly. Do you make more off rap or news and social media? Not even close. News and social media. Rap is not a big moneymaker for me. I definitely don't make $0 or anything, but the news and politics is by far the biggest, the most views I get. I'll say this. Bigger business by far is that. But what's interesting is I make more consistently on the news because I do it every day. But if you look on YouTube, my biggest videos are actually my rap videos. I have one with Bryson Gray that has 900,000. I have one with Trap that has 500,000. Some of my music videos have hundreds of thousands that I did on my own with no marketing budget. And they get more views, but it's like I do so much more. I do so much more news content and it's way bigger on everything. So it's nice though. I'll say this, like, when I grew up, I wanted a record deal to some extent. It's not like the only thing I wanted, but I wanted a record deal. I only wanted to do music. I wanted to, I thought I could make like millions of dollars doing music. And then once I realized what the industry was, I was like, okay, this is going to be really hard to do because like it's like not what I thought it was. Even the underground, like it's so bad in the music industry. My favorite underground label, like I was a big underground hip hop head. The underground label that I looked up to when I was a kid, because I was like, I might not be able to go mainstream, but I could be underground. The underground label flew me from California to New York. This is how successful I was in music to some extent as a kid, just trying to do it by myself. They paid for my flight to go to New York. And I'm like, oh, I'm meeting with the underground label that would sign me. And they told me, don't talk about politics. And I didn't even think I talked about politics. I was like, do I even talk about politics? I guess I do in my rap. They said, rap about weed and women, or else we're not interested. That wasn't the big label that I had a meeting with. That was the underground label. So it's like big labels didn't want me. The underground label that I thought was like actually going to let me be myself literally told me not to be myself. I'm not making this up. This is like my favorite underground label growing up paid for my flight, flew me to New York, and told me not to rap about politics. So at that point, it's like, is it even possible? I mean, you could, like, now you can go the route of like Tom McDonald, but that was like a later sort of thing. Long story short, now that I do well with news, it's a blessing because like I just wanted to be successful with music, get it out there, and I thought that would be like my my golden ticket per se. But now that my golden ticket was news, I can put out the music I want to when I want to. I could go to shows. I don't have to go on a tour. Like I'm not pigeonholed into it. So I'm not mad at it. I'm just like, I'm pretty grateful. It's just, this is the tricky part for me. In order to do rap, I have to take a break from news. If I take a break from news, I lose money. So it's like, I'm kind of caught in this world of, it's a blessing. I could take months off if I really wanted to, but it's like, I almost feel like, I'm doing so many things. So it's like, I like the fact that I don't have to just rap all the time because I don't make that much money from it. So it's like, it's whatever to me. And it's like, it's just like something that I could do pretty much whenever I want. And then I could walk away whenever I want. I kind of prefer that. However, I don't like feeling like I can't stop. Like I don't want to stop. And I'm not like, this is how everybody feels. I'm not like, oh, for me, everybody who has a job, like can't stop. So it's like, I'm just like, I'm trying to balance it properly because what I really want to do is like, I want to crush in news. And then I want to like, I want to be able to pick and choose my spots and like disappear for a couple months and come back and do like put together like a serious album to try to like win a Grammy. I'm not saying I'm going to win a Grammy, but it's like, I'm not going to win a Grammy now because I don't even put out albums. I put out one song at a time and I don't spend that much time on it because I don't have that much time. So it's like at some point in my life, and it's got to be sooner than later, I want to just crush in news. I want to stack up a lot. I want to have a good business model that I don't have to do every day. And then I want to really make a serious push with great producers, great musicians, like real instruments, and try to make like a real great album. Because for me with music, it's like, I make good music. I make good raps. I've had some success. I do well at shows, like, you know, the crowd likes me and stuff, but I got to just get better to the point where, like, you know, everything happens for a reason. So to me, with music, you know, I don't even like, I don't care about what I used to care about. Like, I need a record deal. I don't need a record deal. I want to sign to a label. I can't sign to a label. They literally don't want me. So it's like my dreams are not my dreams. Would I want to tour with music? Honestly, not enough, or else I'd try harder. Like, I don't care that much. Like, I don't need those things. Here's what I do want to do. I do want to make a great album, and I do want to make like some of the best stuff. Even my last song, if you go listen to it, I had people that I really respect, and I don't want to talk about myself because it's going to be douchey, but here's my goal. When I made 9 Minute Masterpiece, I said, I'm trying to make the best rap song around. Am I going to succeed? No, but I'm going to try, or maybe, but you know, in general, it's like, I want to make a song no one's making. When I put that song out, it didn't get the most views, but I got texts from all my rapper friends. I got texts from all the people that I really respect, that are really smart. And they're like, bro, that's one of the greatest rap songs I've ever heard. That's crazy. That song is next level. So it's like, I don't want to make basic stuff anymore, because who cares? Like, if I'm gonna make an album, I'm trying to win a Grammy. I'm trying to make this greatest rap album of this decade. What's the point of making a rap song that nobody cares about, or it's just okay? So it's like, in order to make something that great, you at least have to try, in my opinion. So it's like, I'm not gonna overthink it, but I you know, if I'm gonna make a push in music at some point to really go for it, I gotta be great and I gotta be better. And it's not like, oh, people haven't heard my stuff. Everyone in music, everyone will hear your stuff once you have a hit song. Once you have the hit song, everyone goes back and hears your other stuff. And they're like, oh, those songs are good. So as a musician, if you're a musician watching, don't play the victim and be like, oh, I'm so good and people don't. You might be good, but in general, just keep making songs, keep making great stuff. And if you can get one song to really blow up, then your back catalog, everyone will hear, everyone will appreciate. So it's like, for me, that's kind of my goal. But with a hit song, there's two ways to have a hit song nowadays. One, say like the song $1 Million Baby. I don't know if you heard that song. I can't sing it now. My voice is trash, but it's by Tommy Richmond. It's probably got 1 billion streams now. It was a great song. I heard it immediately. I loved it. It was a smash hit. How do you make a smash hit like that? It's not, everybody tries, but they just had magic, you know? Either you make a really good song that everybody likes that blows up on social media, or you do like a gimmicky song, you know? And I don't like, it's annoying, but it's like, if I make a Trump song or something, it gets more views than other songs, even if the song's better. So it's like, you either have to make like an amazing song, a song that blows up on social media, or a song that's so gimmicky that 100,000 people are going to hear it because it's like a moment. But I don't want to do that. I really want to make like a really good song. But every musician and their mama and their baby mama's mama, everybody wants a hit song. So it's like, this is nothing new. It's like, I want to make a hit song. How do you make a hit song? It's not that easy. If it were that easy, everyone can do it. You go in there, you make the best song you can. And sometimes songs blow up for reasons you don't even understand, or it becomes a TikTok dance. And it's like, is it even what? That song's a TikTok dance? So I listened to a song. I'm trying to think of the name. It goes like this. It's like, big stepper, underground mecca, not the most, not the lesser. I heard it 1 million times, and it's a cool song, right? I listened to the whole song. I'm not saying it's not that cool, but it's like the part that I've heard 1 million times, that's the coolest part of the song. The second coolest part of the song, it's not even close. It's just like that 15 minutes is magic. It's on NBA commercials. It's everywhere because it's so good. But that's the interesting part, is like, and I'm not saying the song's not good. No disrespect to these artists, because it's a smash hit. The whole song is good. But it's like, that is the moment. The rest of the song's like whatever. It's crazy. You really, like, in order to be like a hits musician now, you got to make a 15 seconds. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the whole song. The whole song could suck. I'm not saying their song sucked. I'm just saying the whole song could suck. But if you have 15 seconds that is a TikTok hit, it's going to be a hit song. So I find that fascinating, because like when I make a song, I'm trying to make the whole song good. But at the same time, it's like, what really will make it blow up is not a 4-minute good song. It's 15 seconds of pure magic, 15 seconds of magic. And then nothing else really matters. You know, like, is the hook incredible? Is the verse incredible? Like, that part of the verse, is that part of the verse incredible? Like, what's the hook? What's the what lures people in? So I find the marketing behind music fascinating. Someone said Anomaly does it all. I want to say this too, because yesterday I closed another deal. I do social media consulting, right? And I have a website for it, dreamrarebiz.com. But honestly, I haven't even checked my email in 2 months. I have people I'm going to work with to like scale my businesses because I can't do it all. But in general, I work for my friends' companies, right? I did consulting. I came in, I told them some stuff. It went really well. They did well. He referred me to another friend who owns like multiple restaurants. And, I texted the guy because I was like, hey, I'm going to move soon. Like maybe we could kick it, whatever. But anyway, I closed like a social media consulting deal, and I'm going to be helping him over the next 2 weeks where like I love hip hop. I've been doing it for 20 years. I like news analysis. I like social media. I like the business of social media. Like I like the marketing. I like working for other companies in order to do things outside of my wheelhouse necessarily. So it's like, it's fun to not like, cause when I do this, I'm the brand, I'm the face. I have to take all the backlash, whatever. It's cool. I'm grateful. I take the glory. I take the good and the bad, but it's nice to like be behind the scenes and just work on something else. Cause it's like, the stakes are a little bit lower. I still try my hardest. I'm not trying to screw anybody over, but it's like, it's nice to get out of my own thing. So I would say my 4 businesses are social media, merchandise, hip hop, and then music, and then also consulting. I like them all. I've been doing them all by myself and I got burned out, but I'm starting to delegate. I'm starting to find people I like. I'm starting to give percentages to people to handle stuff. And I'm really going for it all next year because, I can't do everything at once, but if I'm doing anything, I got to do it right. And, I'm pretty pumped about it. So anytime I close a deal, I'm pumped. But like yesterday, I got that done. So I'm doing that to the side as well. I don't talk about it that much publicly unless I'm trying to intake new clients, etc. But it's exciting because when I do that too, it also frees up other time where it's like, okay, I could do this, I could do that. Let me see. I'm gonna see what. All right. Appreciate you guys. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. God bless the world. If you want, check out dreamrare.com. We are probably 50% of the store sold out. The code Turkey is going to work for like 2 or 3 more days. So if you ever wanted a hat and you want to save money, my sales are real. My hats have been $29.99 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whenever I started. I don't know. I haven't changed the price for 1 second. So it's the same exact price. Same exact quality, 20% off for a few days. Get one. If you get it now, we'll ship it to you before Christmas for sure. And by we, I mean my guy, Jared. But appreciate you guys. God bless you. But he's part of my team. So yeah, God bless you. Have a good day. We'll be back soon.
Hey, what's going on, my friends? Just a few ways to stay in touch and support if you'd like to. The first way is dreamrare.com. We have blue beanies, black beanies, pink hats, other colored hats, freedom versus tyranny shirts, stay blessed long sleeve, God is great long sleeve, and lots of more cool items coming soon. Dreamrare.com. Check out the shop to support.